Two Abelisaurs in a row, and maybe more to come. Today's episode is about the Rajasaurus. This slightly larger than average carnivore is a member of the Abelisaurid family, like I said, meaning that it is related to creatures like Majungasaurus and Carnotaurus. What sets the Rajasaurus apart, though, is how this animal was used in the creation of Ingen's most famous hybrid. But let's explain a little bit. How did this guy get to become Ingen's most famous hybrid, or at least lead to it? Well, let's take a closer look. When Jurassic World cloned the Rajasaurus, we really did not know a ton about it. However, it later came out that Ingen found the Rajasaurus had an armor on it that was almost indestructible. This armor was so strong, in fact, that it was resistant to bullets. Tranquilizer darts, of course, did not have an effect either, which presented a major problem. But a problem quickly turned into a solution when Ingen suddenly realized they had an indestructible dinosaur on their hands. And this leads to the second part of our story, the part of major corruption. Speaking of that, where I guess we're going back to Reddit because, of course, we're talking about r/Ingen corruption yet again. I've mentioned this subreddit a few times before, but to give a quick rundown, r/Ingen corruption is a subreddit where ex-Ingen employees talk about things that they saw in the company that, of course, were corrupt. One employee went on to tell about the Rajasaurus. He says that the Rajasaurus was originally seen as a nuisance, but Ingen quickly realized they could use it for a project they had secretly been working on for a little bit. This secret project would end up being the very, very famous Indominus Rex. The Rajasaurus's armor proved a very effective shield, and they planned on using this for the Indominus Rex so that its hide would be impenetrable. However, this would also lead to a few other things happening in the Indominus Rex, including quills along the back of its neck. Yes, the Rajasaurus is what's responsible for that, as well as the scoots that run along its body. But yes, the Rajasaurus caused all of this. And I wish I could tell you that this never went through and that the Indominus Rex never got Rajasaurus DNA in it, but sadly that is not the case. The Indominus Rex very much did get the Rajasaurus's influence. However, if it means anything to you all, the Rajasaurus is actually one of the calmer theropods that we know Ingen created. It is surprisingly tame to be around. People get surprisingly close to this animal, and while it never really shows any kind of threat, this does not mean that the animal is safe. The Rajasaurus can still very much be dangerous. But I think that's all I have for this episode of Ingen Dinosaur Profile. This massive piece of corruption against Ingen surprisingly is not talked about a lot, but hopefully after this video that changes. I hope you all liked this rather odd and interesting episode of Ingen Dinosaur Profile, and remember, if something chases you, run.